Hi, hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then hi, my name's Zoe. Please subscribe, please join my little family here on YouTube. I post videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays and Sundays, and Saturdays and Sundays are primarily true crime videos. So today it's Wednesday, so happy hump day, happy day in the middle of the week. Whilst it's like the middle of the week, I'm kind of feeling like a sit down and sort of talk to your video rather than a Q&A or a true crime video or, you know, a silly video. I want to actually sit down and just talk to the camera just for however long. I really want to talk about like mental health. I've already posted a video a couple of weeks ago about mental health, but the video wasn't that too good. I hadn't thought it out very well. It was all over the place. It was literally just my feelings thrown straight out there, and it wasn't really that great. It still is up on my channel, I'll link it down below. But basically I was talking about how I found out that I had postnatal depression after having my son. But with me, I have suffered with mental health since being as old as I can remember, really, because in my childhood wasn't the most ideal childhood. It was really bad, to be honest, and it wasn't like any of my friends' childhoods. They was happy, had happy families, where my family was just broken from the get-go, and me and my sisters grew up in that environment, and the environment included a lot of domestic violence towards my mum and towards us children as well. And then through a rough divorce and yeah, suffering abuse at the hands of our own father, which I do want to talk about at some point on my channel, because I think talking about things like that and then people come across in videos, it can really help them out. And this is sort of why I'm doing this video. So yeah, let's kind of stop rambling and actually talk about mental health. So I just want, before we get going, I just want to apologise for the angle. It is a new angle. I do like this angle. Let me know if you like it as well. So yeah, just let me know down below. So today we're talking about mental health and basically my mental health and how I deal with it and how I have found ways to deal with it and seeking help and things like that. So since being young, I've always suffered with mental health. I've always suffered with depression, anxiety, and the latest thing is postnatal depression, which is totally different than depression. It's totally a different experience. It's literally, it's so different. People think because it's depression it's the same thing, but it really isn't. So when I was younger, as I said at the beginning of the video, I went through a lot as a child, and this caused a lot of anxiety in myself. And what happened was I used to comfort eat, and I was a bigger girl, and that made me get bullied in school. So on top of everything that was happening at home, this made my anxiety increase. This made my anxiety a whole time like worse. I was scared of being around people. I was scared of making conversation with people. So I was really not sociable at all. And I still am not kind of sociable anymore. But I am out there more. I'm talking to more people, even online. Back then I could not sit and talk to people online, but now I've made so many friends through doing YouTube, and it's just amazing, and that is really bringing me out my shell. Now that is one thing that I advise people, is try to go out your comfort zone. Obviously not too far that you're uncomfortable, but enough that you can kind of break out that, you know, that being in yourself. And also one thing that I found is when I was younger, I never ever went to the doctors and spoke about my depression and anxiety. But when things started to go wrong after having my son, which I said in my previous video, I went to the doctor and I was so scared, and I literally thought that they was going to like take my child away from me, and that's just not what happens these days. It's not. There's so much support out there. They would not do that to a mother or a father. So I went to the doctors, and that was the best thing that I ever did. Honestly, the doctor was so nice. I got my medication, I got help that I needed, and that has really helped me now. I'm not 100% better, and I don't think I ever will be. It's totally changed my life forever. But that's one thing. If you have any symptoms of depression or anxiety or any other mental illness, please just go to the doctor. It may be nothing. It may not even be anything that you're thinking it is. It may just be something simple, a change in your life, a little bit of stress, or it may be a mental illness and you might need that extra help just to get through it. So yeah, that's another thing I advise, is definitely seek medical help as soon as you can. Now, when I was younger, I did used to self-harm. And sorry, I really should have put a trigger at the beginning for talking about that. But the one thing that sort of brought me away from that was when I was younger, I used to be more interested in one thing. So I would like be drawing, and like when I felt the rush of emotions, I would draw, and that would take my mind away from the self-harm and it would put them emotions into something else. That is one way I found to get around the self-harm. But if you are self-harming, you definitely need to speak to somebody, because things can get serious really quickly and it can really get out of control. You may think you've not got a problem, but you probably have if you're self-harming. So please speak to somebody, even if it's a friend, a teacher, a colleague at work, your doctor, anybody. Please just seek help from somebody, because someone will always be willing to help you. Back when I was younger and going through mental health, there was no help out there. No one was willing to help you. But now the stigma is decreasing around mental health, which I'm quite proud of, and a lot of people are willing to help you. So like I said, when I was younger, I went through a lot of domestic abuse, and I think that's what started my whole mental health. It really did mess with my head, and that's just expected. If you go through such trauma as a child, it's going to mess with your head. And as I got older, people who got close to me was passing away. So my stepfather, who I considered my dad, passed away from cancer. His dad then passed away. My granddad then passed away from cancer. And I thought that everybody that I was getting close to was going to die. And that was part of my anxiety. And my anxiety just making everything extreme around me. So that is one symptom that I still struggle to get around, because I now put that against my son. So I constantly think that something's going to happen to my son because I love him so much, and I still haven't managed to figure out how to get over that overwhelming feeling. So if anybody's got any tips that they can let me know down below, that'd be great, because I am willing to try anything. I have been in touch with a psychiatrist to hopefully do some CBT and different support things to help me get over them behavioural issues around it, and hopefully that'll get me back to my normal self, because that's the one thing I've always said to myself, going through this whole postnatal depression experience and through the whole experience when I was younger. I just want to be back to my normal self, just back to the normal Zoe. Like sort of when I'm on camera and I'm filming my videos, this is the normal me, but it's only 15 minutes out of my life, and around that I'm somebody else and I'm a totally different person. And I know I shouldn't be, I should really be upfront and honest, but putting emotions out there on camera and things and that is not something I'm ready to do. I can't break past that wall just yet. It's sort of like a trust thing. I just can't physically do it. I'd rather sit and cry and feel sad on my own, which I know is like really bad. You should be able to have somebody to talk to, but I kind of feel like I don't have that person at the moment. So I found a lady's blog online, and I'm going to link her blog down below, but she's called Simply JD. I think this blog is from 2017, but she answers a couple of questions on here in regards to mental health. I thought I'd try and answer these questions for you guys myself, but like I said, I will go link her blog down below, so check that out. But the first question is, what advice would you give to someone who has a mental health condition but is struggling to come to terms with it? And I would definitely say, yes, you may have a mental health condition, but there is nothing physically wrong with you. There is nothing. You are you, no matter if you have a mental health condition or not. Sometimes your mental health condition makes you the person that you are. You know, you are a strong person if you've got a mental health condition. Trust me, it takes such a strong person to get through it and be dealing with that. So if you are dealing with that, don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Play it to your advantage. Sometimes some good things can come out of it as well, and I know that's not really great advice, but I'm not, you know, a person who's like 100% on mental health. I'm just talking about my own experiences. It says, do you have any rituals to help improve your mental health? And I will say one thing, YouTube has been a big help. I have filming videos and editing videos and talking to people who are involved in YouTube. I've got a couple of good friends out of this who I've talked to on a personal level as well, and it has totally brought me out of my shell. Like I said towards the beginning of the video, it has made me feel so much better. Being behind this camera it's sort of my mask. Even though I'm the same person, it's sort of my mask. I can talk about things, I can raise awareness on things, and I can talk about true crime, which is something that means a lot to me and I'm interested in, and raising awareness on people's cases and things like that. So YouTube is definitely sort of a ritual because it does make me feel better. So anytime that I'm feeling low, I'll jump behind the camera, I'll be my happy self, and that sort of brings my mood up as well, which is great. The next one says, who do you rely on? And I definitely rely on my partner, because he could have ran off, like totally. I've had some crazy breakdowns since having my son, and he could have totally ran off and just left me, and he didn't. He stuck around. He's been at the doctor's appointments. He's exactly why I take on my tablets. It doesn't faze him at all, and that's obviously because he loves me. So there we go. Definitely he is one person I can rely on. How do you help someone who is suffering with mental health? Well, definitely get them some sort of help. If they're not willing to go to a doctor or to a medical professional, get them to speak to a family member, because that is a step in the right direction. That is progress. No matter who they open up to, it is progress. So try and not push them too hard, because sometimes that can really make people feel uncomfortable. But over time, work with them and build their confidence and get them to speak to somebody about it. What do you think can be done to improve young people's view on mental health? Now, this infuriates me a bit, because online I see a lot of it's depressing, or this is depressing me, and it's like a stupid thing like makeup sold out or something, and I'm like, do you understand what depressing means? Do you understand what that means? And I think the word depressed and sad and things like that is used too much. It's not actually used to describe the feelings behind it. So I think with young people who are not suffering through it, who think it's just, oh, you're sad and you cry a little bit, which it isn't, it's totally different. I think it's more about awareness. We need to raise some sort of awareness. So if you've got any friends who don't know much about mental health, share this video or share the blog that I'm gonna tag below, and there's plenty of other YouTubers who have done videos about this. So just share the word and raise some sort of awareness on the subject, and I think that's the way to improve what young people think about mental health. What's the most common misconception about mental illness? Now, I think, in my own opinion, people think that people with a mental illness are actually generally mental and unstable and things like that, and not in all cases. It's not. Me going through my life doing my day-to-day thing, I'm not unstable. I would never put anybody else at risk. I'm quite a capable person, but I do suffer with mental health. I don't talk to myself, and I'm not trying to single that out, but a lot of people think that people who suffer with mental health sit there and talk to themselves, should be in a straitjacket, and I don't think none of them things. You don't need to worry about that, but that really sickens me that people think that, because at the end of the day, we're not crazy. We are people, we are humans with feelings, and that is one misconception that really bugs me. So that's the end of her blog post. She's answered them questions herself, so like I've said that 4 times, go and check that blog out. But I think that's going to be it for this video at the moment. If you want me to talk more in depth about a certain thing that I've mentioned in this video, let me know down below, and I'm willing to do that. If it's around like domestic violence and stuff, it will probably take me a while to get the video up, because I will really have to think about what I'm talking about, simply because there's a lot of people out there that's gone through the same thing, and I really don't want to upset anybody. That's why I've kind of not got into it yet, because I kind of want to do some research about it. I know it's happened to myself and I've been through that experience, but I want to just show people that I know the background and research the subject as well, just so I don't hurt anybody's feelings. So yeah, that is all for this video. It's a little bit jumbly, but I'm so sorry. And again, let me know if you like the angle. I will change it if you don't. I keep changing my background anyway, so I don't think it matters too much, but this is more of a sit down and talk to you video anyway. So yeah, please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye.